Hey guys, this is Bryce Lewis. I know it's been a while since I've been on YouTube. I have not spent that time idly. I've been plenty busy, and today I'm going to present a freebie for you based off of some concerns that we were going through with TSA and how we wanted to solve a problem. But before that, you guys are going to listen to some updates with TSA, and I'd be glad to inform you kind of what's going on. So first off, a brand new website. So if you guys head over to thestrengthathlete.com, I'm really proud of the way the website looks. It's functional, it's clean, and I think it conveys accurately what we're trying to do. And yeah, it's a really nice feel, and I'm pretty happy with it. Also, a new store. So upgrades with Spreadshirt. Now we have a custom store that matches the theme of the website, and closely working with Spreadshirt as well to give them product suggestions. And we've got a design team over there um, as well as some new designs. I've been working on some stuff. So my personal favorite is the powerlifting shirt. Um, so if you want, go over there and pick it up. Um, I'm really happy with it, and I'll be picking some up myself. I've got personally a competition in 2 weeks, Colorado USAPL state competition. I'll be refereeing the first day and competing the second day, and looking to do what I should have done at nationals, hitting something around a 615 to 620 squat, a 440 to 450 uh, bench press, and finally around the 700 to 710 deadlift. Sumo this time, so I'll be trying sumo for the first time in competition. Um, I'll get more into training in a subsequent video. I've filmed some footage, and I'll do some voiceover. Um, but yeah, that's for later. So so for now, what is this problem, and what do we do to try to solve it? Well, we have some athletes that are competing at the national and now international level, and I'd like a better way of tracking what the year looks like in training and what kind of things we need to change. Not only that, as far as periodization goes, but also a better grasp of what variables are the most important in powerlifting, and a little bit of a greater degree of certainty in if we implement a specific program periodization scheme, um, can we expect progress and can we force progress? Um, just generally less murky and more definitive on what kind of progress we can expect over a certain period of time. Um, Not that all athletes are created equal or all progress will come equally fast, um, but just have a greater degree of certainty about the training methodologies that we're putting in place, and about if the athlete is doing everything on their end to assure progress, can we expect more strength over time? Because as powerlifters, that's one of the chief things that we're concerned about. So I've been reading Tudor Bompa's Periodization, and so far it's an excellent read, and there's some great resources in there as well. What I've done is I've adapted one of his yearly planner charts into an Excel spreadsheet and made it quite usable. This is something that I think in the future we'll be using for our athletes to take a look at what's on tap for the next year, and what we can do to drive progress. So, as always, this is a plan. Nothing here is set in stone for an athlete in question. Uh, let's say someone injures themselves 8 weeks in, that certainly changes things. Or let's say a new competition comes up, then the whole plan going forward changes. But the best we can do is create a plan based off the information that we currently have. So that's what this is kind of designed to do, and I encourage you guys to use this for yourself. Take a look at what your year in training is like, and even if you don't have competitions, even if you're purely in an off season, you can still periodize toward mock meets, setting up maybe 2 or 3 mock meets per year, and it's a nice way of structuring training that way. So I'll be walking you through this, explaining kind of what we see here. So we've got 6 boxes up top for just general categories and information on performance, tests and standards, physical prep, technical prep, tactical prep, and psychological prep. And just to note that Bompa is really addressing this from the standpoint of sport. So pure sport, not powerlifting, not bodybuilding. Um, Sportswear, for instance, tactical preparation is a much larger part of the picture. Um, Team sports generally, although there is a little bit of tactics in powerlifting, it's really um, a much more reduced standpoint than something like team sports. So a lot of these categories simply won't apply as accurately to powerlifting. Um, but I've included it as is, and we'll be making modifications specifically for powerlifting as we go on. Um, so we have a section here for competitions, days and months, and periodizing. So we've got a full year of 52 weeks here. And there's instructions on changing these things. So you'll put in the day that you want to start here, and then the very next cell you'll put in 1 week later, and then you'll simply take those two cells and drag all the way across, and it will populate months for it. And you see how it changed the formatting. So just click here in this box and say fill without formatting, and you're good to go. The weeks underneath will just reflect the column right above. In competitions, domestic and international, throughout the year, a black cell just means you have a competition there. And I've just put in 2 hypothetical competitions here for an athlete, as well as periodized hypothetically over a year. And I'll get into what this graph is down here in a minute. So a big section here on periodization, and this is really going to be individual to the athlete. And one of the reasons why it's nice to have something like this in the first place is because we get to plan. So all these cells with a red mark in the upper right corner means I've put in some comments there that may help you flesh out what's going on there. But generally you'll color out or block off a certain number of cells and put it in for a specific training phase, subphase, macro cycle, a section here for strength, psychology, nutrition, and an extra one for a variable of your choice if you thought of something that's not on here. And there's a few options there, as well as microcycles simply numbered from 1 through 52. Right, so peaking index, testing dates, medical control dates, and camp semi-camps are really meant for sport athletes or athletes on an international stage competing in Olympic circuits and things like that, so not really applicable to the majority of people that might be using this. However, this section is probably very important, and what I've done here is these will correspond to values in some cells that I've hidden, so I'm going to unhide those. See these blue numbers here, so I'm going to right-click, click Unhide, and we'll see the data table that's used to create this. So we have 7 things that we can periodize over time here. In practical purposes, I'm probably not going to be using the shaded values here, so physical prep, technical prep, tactical prep, or psychological prep. Probably not, except for small bouts here and there for possibly psychological prep, and physical prep essentially just mirrors volume, so physical prep ends up being a little bit redundant in that regard. But the numbers are from 1 to 10, 10 representing the highest value or the most intense, 5 and under representing peaking. So the most important here being volume and intensity. Peaking will inversely mirror volume in most cases. So the less volume you have, generally the more peaked you are, or the more capable you are of performing in a high capacity. So you can take a look here. This is just a hypothetical situation peaking for 2 competitions. So you'll see that intensity obviously rises as you close in on the meet, volume drops as you close in on the meet, and the same thing happens here toward the end. Actually, that should be backwards. This should be down low. There we go. So yeah, essentially this is what's going on, and I'm not saying this is exactly how you would periodize for a competition. I just threw in some numbers to create a hypothetical situation. What I'm really providing here is the template for you to use. So once you're done, you can either just leave these exposed, or you can select these rows, right-click again, and click Hide. So there you have it, guys. A pretty usable chart here that you can periodize up to a year in advance in quite a lot of detail. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feedback, you can find me on Facebook. Generally, you can find me in the comments on YouTube, or you can email us from the website at thestrengthathlete.com. Thank you. Take care.